Hey everybody, welcome to Panic Attacking Podcast where we talk about anxiety and comedy, mental health, whatever we went through this week. My name is Andrew Chavone.
And I'm Steven Rogers.
All right, Steven, you had an emergency way to get here.
I can't, the trains. I had it all.
Yeah, what's up with those? You can see why Mussolini won, everybody, in Italy.
It was so frustrating because I left with more than enough time.
Yeah.
I would have had to taken 3 trains to get here.
Oh my God.
2 trains, perfect timing. I was going to get here with 10 minutes before.
Uh-huh.
I get to Queensboro, which isn't far.
Right.
20-minute wait for the train.
Isn't that the worst? I don't know if you people are from New York, but sometimes it could be longer than 20 minutes. Sometimes it could be a half hour.
Yeah.
And then you're just sitting there like, I guess this is time I'll never get back.
Right. And I was like,
complete waste.
Immediately, I'm like, this is an inconvenience to us.
Right.
It wasn't like, oh, man, I have to sit here for 20 minutes. It's I'm going to be late for Andrew. That's not fair to him.
Well, that's thoughtful.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I'm not waiting. By the way, a guy going up the stairs as I was leaving, you know that moment when somebody sees how long they have to wait? He was carrying a bike on his shoulders, gets to the top of the stairs, see how long it is, and goes, ah!
Does he turn around and take the bike down the stairs?
No, he stayed up there.
Oh, wow.
And
that's just like when you're driving and you see all those cars in traffic.
Yeah.
And then you see when there's just like when there's no traffic and you're like, those people have no idea what they're going to experience.
Oh, yeah.
Just you guys wait. That's like everyone walking up the stairs as you're going down.
Yes, exactly. There's actually the Jackie Robinson Expressway here in New York. There's a time where there's like sweepers that go down that street and they go maybe 3 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And there's always a time when I used to live down there that Kate and I would see the sweeper and see all the cars stuck behind it and then go further down and go, oh, those people, zero clue. Exactly like you're saying.
They're ruined.
Yeah.
They now, instead of this, they used to have a sign that said Jackie Robinson Expressway. Now they just say JRE, which when you look at it real quick, you're like, Joe Rogan Experience.
I didn't know he was doing that well.
Yeah, he's got roads now.
So I jumped on a city bike, which I'm sure the listeners know, but there's all over the city. There's these ports.
They're bikes.
You rent a bike. There's electronic bikes and regular bikes.
Yeah.
And I kept trying to unlock the electronic. They're all like, go to another bike, go to another bike. So I had to do regular bike. Regular bike, I'm riding over here. It's broken.
The regular bike is broken. How is that possible?
The seat wouldn't go on, like it kept coming down, so I looked like I was in a big wheel. My legs were higher than my ass.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you know what I mean? When your legs
you look like that first bike invented. The one with a huge wheel in the front that no one would ever ride.
I looked like a boat that was sinking. The front half was higher up than the bottom half.
You had Irish people in the spokes.
Once I got to a hill, it wouldn't I was pedaling as much as I could to get up a hill, but it was not working because my seat's so low that my legs had to work extra to get around to pedal. And no matter to sit normal level, you know how to bike, but to relearn the bike is basically what I did.
So were you sitting with your hands up here like those hardcore?
I looked like those motorcyclists. Yes,
they call them ape hangers.
Yeah, I could have used ape strength to get up those hills. So I was 10 minutes late, and
well, it's all good. But when do you have to leave?
I have a hard out at I could do 4:15.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll cover a lot in the meantime. Well, we just wasted 5 minutes talking about bicycles, but I wish I knew about that hard out earlier.
You did. We did. It doesn't matter. What? Clearly we know what's making me anxious, but what's going on with you?
Oops, everyone. Sorry about that. So, we're here in Maddie Smith Studios, everyone. Some adjustments had to be made. I asked Maddie if I could call it Maddie Smith Studio. She said, sure.
That's great. Pulled back the curtain and pulled it to the side.
Luckily, it's a good thing you were late because literally the downstairs neighbor was blasting Enter Sandman on loop.
Really?
Yeah, I guess he does that when he cleans. So
The same song?
same song, Enter Sandman over and over again, full blast. He was off to Never Never Land. I'm a Metallica fan, and I don't even like listening to that song halfway through, let alone again.
As a Metallica fan, that song's overrated?
It's just overplayed a little bit. I wouldn't say overrated. It is a truly good song, and I can get to the complexities of the song, and I know everything about it. I know how it was written.
Yeah.
Yeah, first it was written, dun-na-na-na-na. No, wait. Dun-na-na. Whatever it was, they changed it around. This is all...
This is going to be like the bicycles.
We're going around in circles here. Really spinning our wheels.
Seat's broken.
So, okay. Yeah, so you and me did a show together, comedy show. We haven't done one in a long time.
It's been a while since we worked together. I got to give you a shout out. I know that you're great. Like I've always found you to be one of my favorite comedians to watch. But that night, I guess we should. I don't want to name names or anything, but the first couple comics had a hard time breaking them open.
Yeah, they came out saying, "Wow, they're stiff."
And then Andrew Chavone hits the stage.
I was the second comedian on the show.
And it was like Def Jam. The place was like they were slapping their coffee tables, and we were in a coffee shop. It
was a coffee shop with random furniture. It looked like the coffee shop from Friends. You know how they have like
exactly
a couch and stuff. When you watch Friends, you're like, oh, that doesn't look like a Starbucks.
Yeah,
but if you go to
exactly what the vibe.
Yeah, it had like kitschy stuff on the walls, on the table, and that's the center of our story, everybody.
Yes.
So Steven and I got there early before the show started, or maybe the show had just started. We were at a table close to the front of the stage.
Yes.
Because all the tables in the back were taken, and I'm not going to stand. I'm old, and I just walked there.
I walked in and heard your laugh. I'm like, great, he's here. I'm going to go sit with him. And I thought you were sitting in a fine spot.
Yeah, we're off to the side, even though we were like closer to the front. And I'm looking at the host of the show, and above him is a skeleton of a pterodactyl.
Yes.
But the way the skeleton looked, and I knew it was a pterodactyl because the head was like...
It had the point on the back of the head.
The point in the back of the head. But when you look at a skeleton of a pterodactyl, it could be anything. It could be any kind of flying bird.
Right.
And to me, it looked like a chicken. I thought it was a chicken at first. So I looked
Fake skeleton, by the way, everybody. This coffee shop isn't hanging a fossil.
No, yeah. I mean, it might be. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and it was quite small. It was the size of a chicken.
Yes.
So it wasn't like a huge skeleton like, in the Jurassic Park.
No
Welcome
other
Center.
thing hanging from the ceiling in this place.
Nothing, yeah. And it was like a hook, a string, and then this skeleton that looked like a chicken. So I look at Steven and I'm like, hey, what if I said, I lost my bird here last week. Has anyone seen it? And then I look up and say, oh, no.
Right. No, that one was mine.
No, you had...
I lost my parrot.
Has anyone seen him?
Yeah, and then I had a tag that we'll get to later.
Okay.
Yours were, you guys must have been hungry because that bird just got here and it's already picked queen.
And
then you said, what did a pigeon get in here? And you had all these other lines. But I texted you, because you and I were texting back and forth bird jokes. Basically, it was basically a podcast of us just tossing these jokes back and forth.
Yeah, we're like workshopping the ultimate way to talk about the skeleton hanging from right above where we're performing.
Yeah.
And, it's ridiculous. It's funny to me. So I'm like, there's a lot of material here.
And I was so excited for you to go up there. You said to me before you went on, which I thought was very smart on your part, I gotta I got to crack them open first with regular jokes.
Yeah, you can't go out there with the bird riffs because they've never been said out loud.
Right.
They've only been texted to each other.
Yeah.
And if those flop, then you look like a moron.
Yeah. You got to just see it.
You already dug a hole where you could find more bones.
Right. You had to make sure. You had to make sure those jokes could fly.
Yeah, right. They had wings, everyone.
So you go up there, you crack them open with these killer jokes I've heard before, but had all these new parts to them that was so cool to see.
Yeah, sometimes, as a comedian, you add to things.
Yeah.
You tweak them.
And it was awesome to watch, and they were even funnier than before, and I thought they were great before. And then you start the bird thing, and they're loving it. It was amazing.
I had to point to it at first, and then they got it, and I was like, wow, that's such a good laugh. And then I did another joke, and then after that other joke I had previously written and performed and knew was funny, I did another bird joke, which I think involved the pigeon.
Yeah, you did the pigeon thing, but then at one point you go, and I'm like, oh, he's not going to use my line. I'll use it then, and I sent it to you for you to use.
Right.
And then you go, oh, my pet parrot. Has anyone seen it? It was supposed to be here. And then you looked up, which I didn't tell you the looked up part. You did that all on your own. It was amazing. You looked up and went, ah!
There he is, Polly. What have they done to you?
And then I said, there's a keyboard behind this where we were performing. I was like, you should say my parrot was supposed to come up here and play the keyboard.
Yeah. So knowing that was your line, and I was out of lines because I did all the ones I wrote, so I did your line. And then knowing it wasn't mine, I delivered it with such weak confidence because I was like, oh, I didn't write this. Steven did. So it just like kind of eked out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Fell flat. And I felt so guilty for saying your joke that I
Yeah.
said, Steven over there wrote that.
So from everyone's perspective, because the joke, first of all, I didn't think it through that you're blocking the keyboard. We're standing in front of the keyboard.
We're standing in front of this keyboard. It's angled sideways.
Yeah.
So it is blocked by a person standing in front of it.
Yeah.
It's not set up on a stand. It's just there behind you.
Yeah, it's leaning against the wall, and I say that. I tell you, I say that in the text. You say it. It flops. I didn't know because of your guilt. But
It was the guilt, weak delivery.
combined with they can't see the keyboard.
They
So
can't
they're
see the
like,
keyboard.
what?
It doesn't
What?
make sense. Why would a bird play a keyboard? It doesn't has any
Yeah.
ability to play one. There's no known birds that play keyboards.
So it falls flat, and then you go, he wrote that.
And then they're like, huh? Why would he write that? And then I go, well, sometimes comics we look at the room and then write things beforehand because we think they're funny, and me and him bounce, and then they're like, So then I'm like panicked because I just made it extremely weird for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
So there's this guy who's like been laughing the whole time in the front, and I go, he has this scale with a candle on it, and I go,
Yeah.
hey, how much does that weigh? Huh? The scale with the candle on it? What does that weigh? Why is that there? Is this eBay? And then he goes, I don't know. And then he has a shirt that says Taco Dreams.
This is the best joke of the night.
So I go, Taco Dreams. Later, those are toilet nightmares. And I said, I just wrote a sequel to your shirt. And that crushes, and I'm
crying at
like,
this point.
oh, thank God I can pull out of there. And then I have a joke that ends with, I'm hooked on this stuff. And then I point up, and I'm like that bird. That crushes. I redeem myself.
From the audience perspective, because I'm in the audience, we did not see you sweat. We had no idea that you were panicking.
Around the scale, that's when I was starting to squirm, was the
Oh,
scale.
we had no idea. I mean, all that probably in your head felt like 8 minutes, but it happened in 30 seconds.
And in this, I'm going to try to edit this where I'll put the audio from the set because I have it recorded. So I'm going to try to put the audio.
Oh, I'll give you the audio for mine later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then you did bird jokes.
Yeah, which we'll get into my thing. But
well, hold on, because I think I have a reveal toward the end of this story.
Oh, sure.
So you went up. I'm done with mine, unless you had more stuff about mine.
No, you just had a great set and ended strong.
And then you went up.
Well, a couple comics after you.
Right. And I'm like...
And they did zero stuff about the room.
Right. And I'm like, Steven, you gotta keep doing bird stuff. It's killing.
Well, because I texted you one to make you laugh after your set, and you're like, you gotta do that.
You gotta do that. You're right. Please do that. I'm staying here to watch you do that.
So I go up, and I riff about the room. Like, there's a mirror next to me, and I'm like, oh my God, I thought that guy was coming at me, but it was me. Nothing.
Right.
I say
the mirror stuff bombed.
mirror stuff bombed. I say something else, but then I go, how about Andrew for all those bird jokes and calling me out for the, and I joke
for the one that didn't work. And that was a good misdirect because people are like, oh yeah. I guess we're done with the bird stuff.
Yeah.
He said, isn't that,
And then I go,
and you dig deep.
and there's an empty chair underneath the bird skeleton. That's important for everyone to know. I go,
Yeah, no one has been sitting there the whole show, but there is a chair under the skeleton.
there's a chair under the skeleton. I'm like, oh, nobody's sitting there because they're worried the bird's gonna poop on them, and that kills.
Kills.
And I felt great.
And I'm dying laughing. I'm laughing the whole time, laughing at you, making fun of me for that line didn't work. I'm laughing at the poop and
Yeah. So then, should I get into the thing that I told the audience I would tell on the podcast?
So wait, okay, let's just do this reveal because made fun of the guy I made fun of Taco Guy. I made fun of the candle, the scale, all the weird stuff in the place.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end of the show, the guy walks up to us and says, "That was great." I'm like, "Thanks." He's like, I'd love to have you guys back. And I'm like, have us back? What do you mean? He's like, I own this place. I own this place.
We're trashing the bird, trashing the scale, trashing
the
his shirt.
The placing of the chairs, the candle. Made fun of everything in the room.
He didn't go up to the other comics and go, hey, making fun of the room, he loved it.
Yeah, and
I guess he's owned the place for like weeks.
He said he owned the place for weeks, and I'm like, you didn't happen to pick out those decorations, did you, with the bird skeleton? And he said, no, that was there when I bought the place. And I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
God, because if this guy purposely bought this bird skeleton and hung it up there, I'd feel so bad.
Yeah, you cut to him being like, perfect.
Perfect. And he turns it slightly. All right, now it's good.
Ready to open.
Let's have a comedy here now.
No one will make fun of this. So, you hand him a sticker like, "Hey, thanks for having us. You should check out our podcast."
Yeah. Well, you plugged the podcast on yours, but I don't want to give your thing away.
No, yeah. I feel we're
so maybe we'll go back to the finishing of my story.
Yeah,
because now that we got the big reveal out of the way.
Yeah, finish. Well, we're in a weird order here.
Yeah, this is like a Tarantino order.
Yeah, so I'll finish mine and then we'll come back to the owner.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm up there. I'm like 3 jokes in, and now I have them because I'm telling jokes and the bird thing works. And I'm telling this new joke where I have to move my arms like a cat sticking their hand under a doorway. So for the video people, I have to go like this.
Yeah, because you're saying that you're working from home and your cat keeps
putting her hands under the door. and I go like this. Well, I'm holding a wireless mic.
And it's humongous.
It's a giant wireless mic.
Yeah.
Wireless mics, for people that don't do stand-up, are always gigantic because they have a battery pack in the bottom of them.
And they have a transmitter in there.
Yeah, and a cord, it slims down. The cord mic slims down the further it gets down the mic.
You're right.
So I doing the act out, and my hand hits the bottom of the mic, and it launches across the room to the feet of what turned out to be the owner of the place.
Oh yeah,
bounds on the ground, like just makes that bound sound, just huge.
Bound.
Like I meant to say like bounces, but then I was trying to stick with it and was like, oh, he won't call me out.
Oh, the first time you said makes a bound,
and I tried to fix it, and then bound came out again.
Isn't that the guy who wrote Spirit in the Sky?
Bound, James Bound. James Bound, the James Bound band.
Well, that was out of bound.
Maybe that's what it was. It was out of bounds.
Is that a bounce? That's why it fell without bouncing.
I think it was trying to do bang and bounce, and bound came out. But there's no bang and bound. Anyways, it hits the ground. It makes this horrible sound. And then the joke's dead. All momentum gone. Gone. It's real awkward. I pick it up and I'm like making fun of myself, it's super uncomfortable for me. I'm like super nervous.
It makes a huge sound, and then you kind of unravel on stage where you say, "Oh my God."
Yeah, well, it's never happened before in my life.
Well, you say that, which you do. It's a good recovery, saying everything you're thinking.
Yeah, and so then I go back into jokes or whatever, but I keep bringing it back up, making fun of myself for dropping it. And at one point, there's a dime on the floor, and I see it, and I'm like, I'm going to pick up this dime. I go to pick up the dime. The dime is in the floor.
It's part of the decoration.
It's in the floor, so people will go to try to pick it up, and they're touching floor.
And then I looked down, and there was a quarter by me, and I didn't try to pick it up.
Oh, I bet you.
I bet you it's in the floor.
And there's a comedy club that has quarters glued on the floor.
Oh, really?
In different places. So as I did, I was like, I should have known.
Who performs there, Bozo? What happens when you go to the bathroom? It shocks you?
Coinstar. That's the name of the club. And so I'm like, that's in the floor. And I'm like, that makes sense. Because over here, there's a microphone magnet. That gets an applause break.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, we're good. And then I'm making fun of myself. Do the set. And I'm about to leave, and I'm like, by the way, because you and I had probably the better sets of the show, I was like, I have a podcast with this guy over here, and I point to you.
Now you know how I felt. No, now I know how you felt when I pointed at you. Because I was like, huh?
And I go, it's called Panic Attacking. Guess which story I'm going to tell? And it kills.
Crowd goes nuts. And then you say, good night, everybody.
and I leave on that. It did so well. I'm like, good night.
You left on an applause break for a podcast plug.
Yeah. And everybody came up. Now, say what about the sticker.
So I gave the owner a sticker because he says, Steven mentioned the podcast. I got to check it out. I'm like, well, here's a sticker. This other person comes up who says she's going to listen. Amanda Howling with Laughter, I think, on Instagram.
Yes.
She says, I want to check you guys out, too. I can't remember if I gave her a sticker or not. Maybe I did.
You did.
So gave him, and then the owner goes, you know what, guys? First sticker at the coffee shop. And he puts it on the door.
He puts it right when people walk in.
I was like, oh, my God. So I gave him another one. And then you say, how many of those do you have?
Well, I never saw you reach for them. All of a sudden, there's just another one in your hand. It looked like a magician. Like, is this your sticker? And they just keep.
Well, that's because I spent all my time gluing coins to the floor. And also, if you sniff flowers at that coffee shop, water gets squirted at you.
Yeah, if you go to the hat rack, it's just a bunch of rabbit poop under it.
Well, that explains the bird skeleton. That was in some guy's coat. That was in a magician's pocket too long.
Oh, man. But, yeah, so then we both have great sets. Everybody wants to check out the pod. It was so fun.
And then the owner messaged me, and we got to plug this place. I'm going to pull it up.
The good old days.
The good old days on Steinway, everyone. Check it out. The guy said he's a big comedy fan. He listened to our Brian Regan episode and, says he's going to check us out again. So,
yeah,
the good old days, they support comedy and they support us.
Yeah.
And they're, good old days.
If you go, get a picture with the sticker and tag us in it.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Thank you.
Maybe got to perform more places and put more stickers on the windows.
Yeah. Well, we got to get more bird skeletons. We go in like an hour earlier and hang up a bird.
That could be funny. Just like, you know how those comedians are like, can you play this song? And you're like, why? So they play that song.
Yeah,
and then they have 3 minutes on the song.
Yeah.
What's up with that song? What are they saying about? You asked for this song. We talked about the rest of the night on the bonus episode.
Yeah, so we hung out after and some weird things happened. So check out the Patreon. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
If you're a Caitlyn fan or a documentary fan, you'll like the bonus.
Yeah, it's a good one. So I got a little sequel to last week. How much stuff do you have to talk about? Because we're a half hour in
Hit
already.
me.
Okay. So last week I was plugging the funny introvert for promoting me, and I said he's a great guy. Tags
Yeah.
me. He liked the post about the podcast, so maybe he does listen. I don't know, this mystery man. So then I hit 10,000 followers on Instagram for the first time in my life.
Yes.
Big moment for me. 10K. You get perks of you can have links in your stories and some other stuff. It gets pretty crazy. So I'm like, wow, this is so cool. 10,000 followers. I got the alert for that. And then I got another alert. This German comic, Oliver Sotra, who I think I met once years ago, tags me in a post, or, alerts me in a post and says, "They're stealing from Andrew Chavone." And I go, huh? Click on the post. I had this tweet about sit in the car is when I feel the most zen.
Yeah.
Because I tweeted that when I was literally sitting in the car, and I'm like, this is pretty relaxing. I just finished parking.
Yeah.
So, and then the thing blew up. Social introvert, funny introvert tagged it or whatever.
Right.
So this account is called Gay Animals. I can't remember what it is.
I follow gay animals.
Is that what they're called?
Openly gay animals.
Openly Gay Animals. Took the tweet I had and just cut out my handle and my photo. Just put the tweet that's sitting in the car is the most zen. Word for word, same font, punctuation. And I was like, what the hell? And then I look at the bio. It says, we tag all the creators.
Only the openly gay animal creators.
Yeah. So I respond to his comment, what the hell? I write, hey, you stole this from me. And so I take reshare that post, and I say on my own story, I say, what the hell? These people stole from me.
Right.
And I was like, I couldn't do anything else. But now that I have 10,000 followers, people started commenting.
Whoa.
On the animal post. Couple comics, a couple people I don't know. I want to shout out Matt Backus and Pranav Bahari wrote, how dare you? You stole from Andrew Chavone. You stole this from Andrew Chavone. Post gets deleted.
Hey, great job.
The system works. Well, if you have enough followers, you can wield some might here.
Right.
Yeah, so I felt good. I was like, wow, I just have a win in my life.
Wow. Where were they when the skateboarders were attacking?
They weren't. I didn't have 10K at the time. Skateboarders were attacking me with their boards and their helmets.
I think they were attacking you because they were bored.
Yeah, they ran out of ideas after they put their board on a rail. They're like, what else do we do? Let's attack somebody on.
Let's go after someone that's also grinding.
Oh, so
that's great. So
like
the post is down.
The post is down.
Why didn't they just repost it with giving you credit?
Because then they would admit, I guess, that they're frauds.
Yeah.
So they'll just take it down. If they take it down, all the comments go away. I guess.
Right.
So, then I'm happy with that. At least it's gone.
Yeah. What's the point? Like, they get the likes.
Right.
So why not just show the person's name?
I know, and I don't understand. And the social introvert does it, or the funny introvert, and he has more followers in this place.
Oh man.
The openly gay animals has 1.1 million. Funny introvert has 2.7 million. So way more, and they both make money off of these other people's content. So, whatever. Anyways, everyone. So the lesson is, don't get pushed around by the big accounts.
That's great.
Yeah. So that was just the sequel to last week's.
Well, I'm happy to hear about it, and if Funny Introvert listens, thank you for
respecting the artists,
yeah,
or the creators,
going to bat for our buddy Andrew Chavone.
And then when I commented on the openly gay animals, I said, "What the hell? You stole this word for word from me." Somebody wrote, "Boo hoo hoo! You can't claim credit for memes." And I said, "This isn't a meme. It's a tweet." I can't believe it's a toxic culture out there.
Well, that's because that person's memes stink.
Yeah, well, they had like 8 followers.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. They're not making, like, you're working when you're posting.
Right. Yeah. Taking years of experience of making people laugh
Yeah.
and putting content out there for free so and a gay animal can steal it.
At least he's open about it.
That's good. I'd rather not get stolen by the closeted gay animal. I wouldn't want that at all.
No, I like girl animals.
And you could be
Yeah, bi-curious animal.
Bicycle
Broken seat.
broken seat. Bird skeleton, everybody. So what's going on? What else is going on with you?
You tipped the coffee shop scales in your favor. So I was running around last night, had a lot of spots. It's good that comedy's back. Felt like the old times. And I did Broadway Comedy Club last night. And I worked there a good amount, but there's this one guy that books me for his produced shows where I'll go on first, like biting bullet, which means you go first, on a show where I think almost everybody else is a class comic. Like
Is this at 11:30 at night?
10 o'clock.
I know that show.
Yeah. And it's a good show, but I think every other comic is taking a class, and maybe they throw other comics in there to, break it up. But
okay.
I go there. I'm up first. The host is also new. The entire front row is filming him, so they all know him.
Wow.
Funny guy. I'm blanking on his last name, but his name's Shane, and he does well.
He recovered from getting rejected from SNL, getting fired from SNL. So now he's lucky enough to take a comedy class.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do some sketch show or something. But so he goes. He does well, but does the intro, which I'm fine with. When I saw this guy's name, I was like, "Oh my God, Captain America!" And he did like that thing. But
because no one has ever thought of that when they.
But also, nobody knew what he was talking about in the
right.
audience, so it wasn't getting. And I'm like, "Oh, well, I'll just do that joke." I do my.
Who's he bringing up? Black Widow. This comic's name is.
I thought he was going to bring up Chris Evans.
Yeah, I thought he was going to bring up Ant-Man.
So I go up and I do my set. I do the same joke where I tossed the mic by accident about Bowie and how she's hypoallergenic, and I have a joke where I say I shave. It's not a hypoallergenic cat. I'm actually shaving my cat every night.
That's pretty funny.
To save money, and it's way funnier when I tell it. But I don't want to.
I thought it was funny.
Thank you.
I just pictured just you shaving a cat.
Yeah, it does well. And I work clean, so that's the end of that joke.
And there's a lot of dirty angles you could go.
A lot of easy dirty angles.
Very easy,
dirty. And I at one point I said I riffed. I said my cat has me whipped too. And as I said it, another easy joke came to mind.
Right.
But I didn't say it.
Well, it's funnier that it implied that.
Yes.
Which I hope it did. Well, I don't know.
I thought it did, but then the host goes up.
Oh God.
And goes, "Why didn't you say pussy whipped?
Oh God.
You should have said pussy whipped."
Shane needs to take another class.
That would have been really funny if you said pussy whipped. And I was like, "Ugh."
And then did that get any laughs from the audience?
I don't really remember it getting any, but
okay.
I was like, okay, I get it. He's new. He doesn't know that I'm working clean, and that's fine. Then this other comic grabs me by the shoulder, and he's about to go up. He goes, "Hey, I'm going to give you a shout out from the stage." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And I'm like, "Sounds great, man." And I don't remember his name. He goes on, and he goes, "Really fun following a white guy talking about having a shaved pussy."
Oh God.
And I was like, I'm sorry,
was
everybody,
was this comic white?
No.
Oh.
Sorry for the language, everybody, but it's only makes sense to say the word. But we're talking about cats. For real.
And plus he said it. You didn't say it.
But I was like, oh God. It felt like I felt dirty.
Well, there's a lot of things wrong with this place, with the situation that you're in. you did a lot of work to be creative and imply things and say more with less.
And
you know,
also that joke is not about vaginas. It's about
literally about a cat.
a real cat.
Yeah, and which is you took a funny angle and then you would have hacked it up. Literally,
Yes.
Not only would you hack the fur, you would have hacked the premise. You would have been a hack.
Yeah, I thought it was like this fun angle of like, oh, I'm cheap. I don't want to spend this much on a hypoallergenic cat, so I'll just shave a cat and I saved money. Like that's the whole joke.
And then why is it? What is it with white guy in that? What does being white have to do with it?
I don't know, but I think the comic was black, so I guess he just also wanted to mention that I was white. I don't know.
Then you said he said another white comic saying
No, he just said a white. He called me a skinny white guy.
Skinny white guy talking about shaved.
Yeah, shaving his vagina.
So, all right, I don't know. I got this. My TV has these channels.
Yeah.
Do you have that on your TV? It just has like weird channels.
I mean, so far I'm with you.
You look like.
Well, what do you mean?
Like I have a LG TV. If it's connected to the internet, you can watch like these internet channels.
Sure.
So it's like cable, but it's like not.
Okay.
It's it's like literally blocked out like cable, but it's like the Cheddar TV channel. It's all these things that you see on YouTube, but like played out like streaming.
Sure.
So there's a comedy channel on there called Comedy Dynamics, and I watch it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I have it in the background. And there's this guy who he's wearing a green leisure suit, green hat. He says, "My doctor has told me to keep the white stuff out of my diet. White rice, white bread." I'm like, and white people. And he goes, "White flour," and I'm like, and white people. White cookies, and I'm like, and white people. And then he goes, and white people. And I'm like, maybe this is why you're on the internet channel.
Yeah. First of all, rule of 3, for God's sake.
There was more than 3.
People are writing on their whiteboards. White people.
But it got a laugh. But I think maybe they pumped some laughter in there.
I mean, yeah. But it's like, I guess the thing that made me like, it's just like, it was like, no, I think I'm right here, but I can't call them out and be like, actually.
And you have no opportunity to go back to the stage. You're done.
Right. And I didn't want to be like, no, actually you're wrong. Like it feels like bad to do that to somebody that's new and is learning. So I was like, I just left.
Yeah, it's hard to tell people who are new because when you first start comedy, you remember everything your first year. It's like, because it's such a traumatic experience.
Yes.
It's like, it's everything is new and everything's like intense. Your adrenaline's always going off because you're not used to talking to people. Like I remember everything my first year. And so if you went up to this guy and said, hey, listen, it's making fun of the comic and just repeating what he said isn't the best way to open your set.
Yeah.
He'd be like, screw you, man. And he'd remember you for the rest of his life. So if he got on Joe Rogan 20 years from now, was like, when I first started comedy, I was a skinny loser.
Yeah.
It's giving me notes.
Yeah. And I also did some swimming jokes. And the guy went on stage and said, you should have been a diver.
What does that mean?
He's like, your body, you should have been a diver.
The same comic?
The host.
Oh.
I was like,
this is just bad.
I was like, what? Are you trying to hurt my feelings or undo the entire set I just did? It was very confusing.
I don't understand why diving over swimming. Because you're doing muscles.
I don't know. I don't get it. But
Michael Phelps isn't like muscly, and he wins.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But
I don't even know what a diver's body looks like.
I feel bad. I feel like it comes off like I'm calling him out, but I don't mean it like that. I just mean like the jokes were killer, but then I'm like, wait, what happened? Why are we undoing what I just did?
I don't know.
It
People,
was,
people, you can't go on stage once and then start getting reposted by the funny introvert. You got to work at it, people.
I know. I'm trying to get the introvert to return my calls,
Well,
but he's too introverted.
Yeah, you have to text him. He doesn't like calling. Anyways, everyone. So I have a couple more stories. Well, I guess I'll just have one. So I'm in the city on Wednesday, Manhattan. Everybody, we call it the city. Us New Yorkers. I am hungry, don't know what to get, and I'm like, oh wait, I think there's a Chick-fil-A around here. For those who don't know, Chick-fil-A, big in the South. They just started opening in New York City like maybe a year or two ago.
Yeah, I think there's only 2 in Manhattan.
There are. So I'm like, I'm in Midtown, so on the west side. So I'm like, it's around here somewhere. So I put into my Waze GPS, Chick-fil-A. It says, go down to 8th Avenue and up. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think it was on 8th Avenue, but maybe it's a new location. Drive to these directions, pull into a place. It says chicken fillet. It's a bodega. Just says chicken fillet. I'm like, how many idiots end up at this place?
They cracked the code.
Yeah. And it's because I guess Chick-fil-A is so new, chicken fillet might have been there longer. So if you put in Chick-fil-A, it just thinks you misspelled chicken fillet. You know, the chain restaurant that everyone loves, the sauce and the service.
That makes sense because the other day I ended up at McDonald's.
I ended up at Burger Crown. And it was right next door to
Wendell's.
It was right next door to Tennessee Fried Chicken. Wendell's. What is that?
Wendy's.
Oh, Wendy's. It's my sister Wendy. My name's Wendell. So I go, oh God. So I finally make sure I put in chick-fillet-whatever. Make sure it reads the Chick-fil-A. I had to pick the second option.
Yeah.
Going back to 6th Avenue, so 2 avenues over. Get to Chick-fil-A. It's 9:30. The place closes at 10. Get in the line. The cashier. There's a line for mobile orders, which is really long.
Right.
And then the line to talk to cashiers. There's nobody there. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to hop into here. Talk to the guy. I'm like, I'll make it easy. Number 1. And he goes, great. Puts in some buttons. And I'm like, all right, well, they didn't ask me what I want to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not free refills. I see the drinks over there, but I'm like, I don't want to be a jerk or aggressive. So he's probably gonna ask me right before he does something.
Right.
Hands me the paper, the receipt with my number on it, and I go, hey, what about my drink? And he goes, oh, you wanted the drink. And I said, yeah, I want the number 1. And he goes, well, I'll just get it for you. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, no, I'll just give you a drink. I just charge you for the... And I'm like, well, first of all, I don't know if this guy's been working here that long, but the anxiety part of my brain is like...
I'm stealing a drink.
I'm stealing a drink. I'm probably going to get this guy fired.
Right.
There's a labor shortage as it is. I don't want to... This guy's job is being taken away by these mobile orders. So I'm like, don't worry about it, even though I was really worried about it. I really wanted that drink. He says... You sure? And I'm like, and then I see like people looking at us, because we're
Yeah, because you're talking longer than a normal.
Talking normal, and we're
transaction.
saying weird stuff, and he's like waving a cup at me. So I go, yeah, it's okay. I don't need the drink. He goes, all right, whatever. He puts the cup back, and I'm sitting there stewing over the fact that I'm dying of thirst because I ran all the way over from chicken fillet. So then I'm like, and then before I leave, I'm like, oh, he also didn't ask me about the sauce, but maybe that is something.
Did you say meal?
I said the number 1.
But he should have asked you the sandwich or the meal.
There was no follow-up.
Yeah, that's...
But the number 1 is the meal. It's a combo. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, this is going to be the easiest order ever. I just say number 1, the most popular option at Chick-fil-A, which is the sandwich and the fries.
Yeah.
I thought that was the most popular option, and then he, apparently it's confusing. But, and I'm like, God, I didn't ask for the sauce, but maybe when they give me the bag.
What were you, a movie detective? I didn't ask for the sauce.
The sauce asked for me.
That was my first mistake.
Looking back, I was in my office when a dame strolled in with 2 chicken tender legs.
She
and
had a hell of a combo.
She was a tall drink of Diet Coke, I'll tell you what.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. You got me on that.
So I'm like, oh, they didn't ask about the sauce. So then he asked me for my name when he took my order. So I'm like, okay, so maybe when they hand me the food, they're going to ask, do you want any sauce? This woman comes out with bags and bags. Like she just went shopping at Neiman Marcus. She comes with like 5 bags. She's like, Eleanor, Rudolph, Blitzen,
Wendell,
Wendy,
Mike Donald,
Chicken Flay, and Andrew. And I'm like, that's me again. And then she just leaves.
Sauce!
No sauce. And I see the look at the guy, and I'm like, and he's like,
waving the cup.
he's doing something else. So I'm like, I'll just leave. And I get in the car. I'm so pissed.
Usually you're zen in there.
I should be. All worked up. So I just like eat the food in the car, no drink, come home. And then I, you know what's funny is last time I went to Chick-fil-A, they gave me too much sauce. So I had this extra sauce here.
Maybe they had your poster up. They're like, no, this guy's got enough sauce. He's swimming in it.
So I had extra sauce here from the last time.
Oh, so you were fine.
No, well, I ate the food in the car on the way to my house.
So you kept it in your mouth and drank the sauce when you got back.
But I still wasn't fulfilled until I made chicken.
Chicken fulfilled.
That'd be a good name. I make chicken the next day, and I dip it in the Chick-fil-A sauce, and I'm like, finally, I can relax. There, I felt like Thanos.
The ritual is complete.
There's
I
balance.
use the sauce to destroy the sauce. I am inevitable.
No, I am Polynesian. So that's the story. I don't know if anyone relates to this or what. I thought all I could have done was say, "Excuse me, I need sauce."
Right.
But you know what the lesson is? Do the mobile order next time. That's what I took from that whole experience.
Well,
And I said that in the car out loud to myself. I'm going to do mobile next time. I'm going to put all the sauces I want, all the food and the drinks, and there'll be no confusion here.
people walking by seeing you talking to yourself in the car.
Waving my arm.
He looks just like the cup guy.
I don't know what this guy's problem is, and meanwhile they're like sauce all over their face. You know, they're shoving nuggets in their mouth, completely content.
Chicken on my face.
Yeah, having a big gulp next to them. So that's the lesson, everyone. Never leave it to doubt. Never have faith in your fellow man that they're gonna ask you for sauce later. You gotta believe in the robots. They're the way for the future. Do the mobile orders.
Oh man.
All right. Well, on that note, we got a lot of listener topics. My phone's been blowing up. I just tweeted about this an hour ago.
Yeah, we only have time for like one or two. I want to say
What time do you leave again?
I have to leave in a couple minutes.
A couple minutes. All right.
yeah.
Well, how about you leave and I'll.
But I will say this. I saw that there was a passing. A listener wrote in about a passing. My condolences. Our condolences. That's always a hard time. And
My God, there's Patrick Holbert wrote post vasectomy scar tissue in my sack. He just had a kid.
right.
Patrick,
Well,
our heart goes out to you. And then somebody responded to him with a gif of a guy saying, "Damn."
But
Patrick, our condolences. Patrick wanted to do it because he already has a kid.
No, we're talking about there was
the passing, yeah.
an actual death.
Okay, so let me get that name out there. Okay. Counselor P said, my brother died Friday morning.
Yes.
Feeling for you, Counselor P.
Yes. Condolences. It's always hard. And I don't know if you're an actual counselor or not, so maybe you know more tricks than we do. But, best of luck. And whatever is cathartic and can get you through it, I hope you find out how what to do.
Hope you got some laughs out of this.
Yeah.
Well,
make sure you go to Chick-fil-A and not Chicken Filet.
Chicken Filet. It'll ruin your whole day. Single is coming out, everybody.
The scar in your sack, break your mother's back. But second single. I guess the only way to not be anxious about it is not show it to everybody.
Yeah, you could avoid a prison sentence.
Just zip up.
Wear baggy your underwear. I don't know.
Let's get 2 or 3 more. We'll just rapid fire.
So we have some that are related. Micheline Ronigan, and also these are because some are funny. And Suze, who's Susan MR5, said climate change.
Right. Well, I have this conversation with a lot of my anxious friends a lot. Just focus on what you can control. I would donate. I would call your representatives and stuff like that. But just focus on what you can control, because worrying, watching the news too much and all the stuff that's outside of your control is going to make you more anxious.
And what was that advice we gave on a few episodes ago? Dr. Deb also probably gave it to us, and our own therapist, about something about what you can't control or something.
That's where a lot of anxiety comes from, is focusing on what you can't control. But if you focus on what you can, it gives you power and makes you feel better.
Yeah, that's what it was. So
yeah,
if you can't control something and you're freaking out about the fact that you can't control something, it would be impossible to control the global weather.
Yeah, it'd be fixed.
So focus on what you can control, which is reuse, recycle your own groceries, or
do the bags.
Buy
cut out unnecessary trips.
Yeah, buy stock in Tesla.
And know that people way smarter than all of us are working on it.
Yeah, and it's gonna happen. I mean, things are working way better than they were. Yeah. I feel like. And plus, we have electric cars now.
Yes. One more, and I gotta go.
Okay. All right. So I just want to give a quick shout out to everyone else who wrote in. We got Dean Sucks, Oklahoma Mom, Lisa, Luna Longbottom, Creamy Milk Chocolate, Chris Allen.
Allen.
We want to have you on, Chris.
Yeah.
Steve Katz, also a comedian. Doc Exon, who has a really sad one as well. But Chris Allen, we can talk about his. And also, shout out to Creamy Milk Chocolate. Amazon leaving chocolate outside in the hot sun. Amazon does not care about you and does not care about your chocolate.
They're trying to make it more creamy, apparently. Make it in a liquid.
They thought you ordered a milkshake. Chris Allen wrote, my landlord painting our porch. I feel trapped. I don't want to talk to him. I'm hiding upstairs, so my wife has to talk to him. I do that all the time. My landlord was outside. She grows these cucumber plants outside.
We talked about it on the podcast.
Talked about it outside of the podcast. I'm waiting for a delivery. I open my curtain. I'm not wearing a shirt. I just woke up, and I see her, hello.
Oh, God.
In her garden in front of my window. So I go, close the garden. And then Maddie comes home and with 2 cucumbers in her hands.
Was that the delivery? You had a garden right up front.
So Chris, yeah, I can relate to that. I don't know what else to do because you never know what these people. And I felt like this all the time when my mom would have people over, or my parents would have people over.
You just don't know what to say.
I would just hide in my room.
Yeah.
Until they all left.
Right.
I feel that never goes away. That feeling of just hiding in your room, just to. Because that's more fun anyway. You're hanging out in your room. You don't have to talk to your painter about the weather.
Right. Yeah. Well, best of luck to you, Chris. If you're still trapped up there, just order delivery and wait it out, I guess.
Just keep sending your wife up and down to run you supplies.
Yeah, make sure she brings the chocolate in before it melts.
At least this guy's not paying your bathroom.
That's true.
Because at least you can go up, you can pee.
Yeah.
That would be an awkward convo. Hey, can you? I gotta take a dump. Can you stop paying in here?
I got to do my own coats. I don't know. All right.
That's no paintbrush.
What's that scar? All right.
He's got to get out of here.
I got to get out of here. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. And
do you have any shows coming up, Steve?
I do. I'll be. I'm in the city until August 14th, and then I'm going to be with Brian in Atlantic City at the Borgata. And then I'm doing a lot of stuff in New York City in August. But then September, I'm in the Limestone Comedy Festival in Bloomington, Indiana.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
If you're in Nashville, check out my girlfriend, Maddie. She's headlining for the first time and filming something on Monday night. So that the night
Nice.
this is recorded, if you're checking it out. And I will be with Maddie in Connecticut September 18th. And some other stuff's going on. All right.
Great.
All right. I can tell you obviously have to leave. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening. I like this place. You guys hungry? Because I think that bird just got here. This thing didn't stand a chance. You guys really picked this clean. I was looking. I thought there'd be chicken here. I hope that's chicken. I don't know what that is. A pigeon. That's how I feel every time I order chicken wings. You know, there's like a shortage in the country. Every time I'm like, could this be a pigeon? I can't believe it. It's like, pigeon roulette. But I don't know what I'm saying. You guys all look like, wearing tank tops and stuff. Or maybe just you, actually. I just saw you. I was like, everybody is. I'm just looking right at you. Oh, he is. Okay. All right. You know her? You guys go to the same Crunch Fitness? All right. Well, you guys have the right idea. I've been trying different. By the way, I brought my pet parrot here. I don't know where he is. Oh my God. He was going to play that keyboard. Okay. I don't know if you guys see that. Steven wrote that last one. He's coming up. Steven wrote that keyboard part. That's what we do. Comedians before shows. We're like, hey, what can we say about this? Apparently nothing. I'm hooked. Just like this bird skeleton. I was hooked on it. Just like this is hooked to the walls for some reason. All right, everybody. Cool. How much is that weigh, by the way? I don't need to know. No, I'm joking.
My heart starts beating really fast.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the episode.
Really appreciate all the support. If you like the podcast, please share it. Tell all your friends. Give us a high rating. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. And we're on social media. I'm at Not Steve Rogers on Instagram and Twitter. Steven Rogers Comedy on Facebook and StevenRogersComedy.com.
And I am on Twitter, Chavone, SCHIAVONE. And on Instagram, I'm Andrew Chavone, same spelling as before. On Facebook, I'm Andrew.Chavone. And my website is AndrewChavone.com.
Perfect. Thanks for listening, and see you next week, guys.
See you next week.